Welcome to the daily holy story. The Ohev Yisrael Mapta was very careful on the holiday of Pesach, not only not to have any chametz, but he was very strict with all the details of the laws of Pesach. And he always was very stringent. He was very careful that on the first night of Pesach, for the 3 Matzot to Seder, he himself would bake the Matzot and make sure they were of the highest quality in kashrut, mehadrim and hamedrim. Even though all the Matzot during the Pesach holiday was kosher, very kosher, but the 3 Matzot of the night of the Seder were the most kosher possible. And he himself baked those Matzot, wrapped them in a double wrapper, and put them in a corner in the room of the Matzot. One year, the Ohev Yisrael and Mapta had many, many guests, and his Rabbanit was very busy preparing for the holiday. And she was cooking and cleaning, and there was a custom in the city of Mapta that every time before Pesach, the charity collectors would go from home to home collecting matzot for the poor people of the city. And not only matzot is an obligation from the Torah, but they were very expensive. And they knocked on every single door in the city to collect matzot for the poor people. They also knocked on the door of the Rebbe. And the Rabbanit was very busy. So she told one of the servants to go to the matzot room and give 3 matzot to the people collecting for the poor people. She didn't go to check which matzot he took. The erev of the holiday came, and the Rabbanit went to set the table. She went to the matzot room, and lo and behold, the matzot were missing. They disappeared. Her heart stopped. Where are the matzot? She started reviewing in her mind where they could have went. And she realized that the servant, without realizing, by accident, he took the 3 matzot of the Rebbe and he gave them to the collectors. She didn't know what she's going to do now. What she's going to tell the Rebbe. All of a sudden, she thought of a thought. She decided not to tell the Rebbe. What am I going to do? She said to herself. She decided to take 3 other matzot and not tell the Rebbe that the matzot disappeared. But in the city of Mapta, there was a young couple. It was the first Pesach they were celebrating together. And on the eve of Pesach, the young husband walked into the kitchen and he sees his young wife cooking matzah balls in soup. He turned white. He had the custom not to put matzah with water. Asur. As far as he's concerned, it's asur. He looked at his young wife and he told her, gebrachs. We don't eat gebrachs on Pesach. The young wife told her husband, my mother did it and my grandmother did it. So I'm going to do it. And I'm not changing my custom. That's my custom. The husband said, no way, Jose. You cannot cook that for me on Pesach. I don't eat gebrachs on Pesach. Well, the young wife didn't budge, and he didn't budge. And the whole Pesach was not so happy. They were very bitter with each other. Meantime, in the house of the Rebbe of Mapta, the Seder was beautiful. The Rabbanit was happy that the Rebbe didn't pay attention to the matzot. Everything went on regular, and there were no problems. She was very satisfied that her husband enjoyed the Seder and didn't notice the Matzot that he baked were missing. A few days after Pesach, the young couple came to the Rebbe's house. They told him about their fight, about their arguments, and sought his advice. The Rebbe paid attention to what happened, and they told him how much they fought the whole Pesach. The Rebbe thought for a little. He turned to Shamosh, his assistant, and he told him, "Get me the Rabbanit." The Rabbanit was surprised that the Rebbe called her. She walks into his office, and he turns to the Rebbitzin and asks her, "Tell me, my dear wife, which matzot did I eat on the night of the Seder?" The tongue of the Rebbitzin stuck to her gums. Her heart fell. Does my husband know really that I switched them? Does he have Ruach HaKodesh? Without any choice, the Rebbitzin had no choice but to tell the real story of what happened to the Matzot of the Rebbe. Now, the tzaddik from Mapta, he turned to the young husband and he told him, "You see, I, who have been so strict for so many years about my matzot on the night of the Seder, which is known to everybody, this year I ate regular matzot, like everybody else. I didn't open my mouth. I didn't complain. I knew that they were the wrong matzot, but I didn't want to ruin the shalom bayit in my house." Therefore, he told the young husband, "I think it's very important for you to try to explain to your wife in a gentle way that you don't eat gebrachs on Pesach, but don't ruin your shalom bayit for it, and make sure you have peace in your home." Quickly, the young couple returned home and made up and were together happily ever after. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.